Lalo, Symphonie, Espagnole. The whole piece is great. Yeah, great. There's a lot of things. What would you like to work on?
Well, I'm just starting this piece actually, and one of the things that I've run into, especially with learning this piece, is that usually when I perform things, I strive to perform them at a performance tempo and not necessarily like for a student concert and stuff like that. It's like the real deal. However, usually when I play pieces, what I've seen is that they have very virtuosic parts, but only for a short amount of time. However, playing this, the whole thing is all over the place, so virtuosic and all that stuff. So I get tired, my fingers are full, so, you know. So one of the things I guess we could talk about is how to, I guess, just get through it.
So that's a great question there. So one thing about this, this music is I think it's a Frenchman's idea of Spanish music.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all that too.
It's
yeah, but there's interesting, because I always like to think in terms of musical gestures, and obviously that's even, it goes hand in hand with the style, like the Spanish style or whatever, but even within this part. So in the midst of all this virtuosity are these really cool rhythmic gestures, really, in this piece. So maybe I felt like there were actually places where you could hold the reins a little bit.
Yeah.
And also, if you play it with piano or orchestra, it will feel a lot different.
Yes.
So kind of anticipating where those things will be, where you can broaden a little, and that might give you a little break in that. It feels breathless, you know, when we're playing it, but we can make it a little less so. So one of, even at the beginning, like you're going to do this a million times in this rondo.
Yes.
So is there a way to make it maybe less intense the first time, and maybe a little different every time?
Yeah.
So, when you're playing it, I hear a little bit of an accent on the second note, and maybe it could have a longer line.
Okay.
And really, I don't think you need to accent; they'll come out. It's
Okay.
because of the way it falls into the rhythm. So start at the beginning again and go with the line. You know, never getting too soft,
Okay.
but make the shape of the line, and feel like you're a singer and you're just gonna, you know, you're on. It's kind of like one of those French operas, those Spanish stories of the 1800s. Yeah. So what is this story? Actually, it is kind of a story. It's what are some qualities that I think this movement especially has?
Well, it has a lot of, it has some flamboyant character in some of the parts. It's very show off, like with all the high notes and jumps and stuff. But I think in the beginning, there are the accents and all the trills and stuff, so I guess I should bring those out and I guess incorporate it more into the whole.
Yeah, it's a little playful though, because the accents are never like jabs
Yes.
or menacing.
Yeah, it's not so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. So make play the line of the second note without accenting them, but just hearing. See if that can come through.
Is that how you would like me to play it? Like,
No, just play what's written.
oh, okay.
But so the rests aren't really there. They're just sort of, or you're doing them all down. Maybe not. Maybe not do that right now. You can do that, but just to get the feel of it with the longer line. Yeah, good. Now put them back in.
Okay.
That is true. I don't know. Maybe is it printed into the score?
Yes, and that is what makes it true.
Yeah. So let's talk about how to get out of here. Do you have the metronome on? That is tricky.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of a way, if it's, so here we go. So am I using more arm or more, all right, I had one of my teachers had me keep a notebook, I think I was like 16, and I had to write down the percentage of movement coming from each part of my arm. And he would say, it was Eric Rosenbluth, he was a student of Carl Flesch actually, and he'd say, what percentage of that stroke is coming from your elbow? And I'd say, 15%. He'd say, no, 22%. Write that down. It's weird notebook. So my first feeling is that I can't get out of this zone. Because then I have to get back, and that is intense, and that will exhaust me almost immediately. So at least this first time, through this rondo, and maybe an edge off the tempo.
Okay.
Good, don't pull on the second note. Yeah. That was perfect. It just has a lift and, yeah. And if you bring the volume up or anything from there, just do it proportionally without poking out any one note. Yeah. Okay, so that's one thing, finding little places where maybe you were overusing something you don't need to, because you're right, the stamina on this piece is off the chart.
A lot of it.
Yeah. And that felt very standing up rhythmically. Sometimes when you're playing first time, it actually, I felt like the rests were a little clipped. But that will come with, are you playing with the piano soon? Or?
No, like I said, I've only, the part that I played for you is how much I've played so far.
Yeah, so if you'll have that, with the metronome. Now, there's retard. I don't know the numbers, but at the end of the third line, you can make more of those. Yeah. And a big slide down. So.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wasn't sure how to do. Because listening to a bunch of people, everyone plays symphonies from different different styles. So I never really had any of the bass to offer, especially because it's not like any good lessons.
So you can try them all on.
That's true.
That's another thing I did. But I used to listen to as many. So one of my teachers, this is again back in the dark age, I had to go to the public library and take home an LP of the piece that I was playing. There was no streaming or anything. But when I got to college, my teacher was like, don't listen to any recordings of the pieces you're working on, because I don't want you to get any other ideas. So, but I disagree with that. So when I learn a new piece now, I get as many recordings as I possibly can. And listen, and I'll take little notes and stuff, but I'll try different stuff. And sometimes when I do that, what happens is in performance, that also happens a few times. So you don't have to do it exactly the same way every time. And it'll give you a lot of ideas. So what's one idea on that one that you heard? Just take the time to slurp it up. But let's go into another section, because I know there's so much here. You're doing a little bit of I like that. I think you can, we don't want to overdo that.
Yes.
But I like that. I was missing a little bit out in the slurs.
Okay.
You can play it back closer to tempo, but start there now as it's printed.
Okay.
And that's what I mean about, I don't know, you just need some rhythmic profile at all times. So all of these things that run on, they're not, they're virtuosic, but they're still structured.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
wherever is a good place for you to start. If you want to start on the fifth line from the bottom, that beginning of the statement, dum, 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 dum.
Oh, on the second.
No, on the first page.
On
I'm
the
just going on from there. Yeah, that's much better. Here, I think you can get a little huskier
Okay.
with this tongue, and a little, I know we're under tempo a little bit, but again, not like a pressing, but just more, I don't know, how close can you get to the bridge on that? Yeah, try to get these a little bit. You're going up there, right? I like that sound. You like that sound on the string? Kind of a gypsy sound. So all of these things, I fall under what I call color in my sound. So yeah, you can give it that way a little bit. So like, it's not just that we're making sounds and making dynamics or doing what the composer says, but even when we're practicing, think of what the sound you're making as colors you're making. That, I mean, some people see, do any of you see colors when you hear a note? I know there's, what's it called? Yeah, it's anesthesia. I don't have that, but I sort of have associations with keys. And also keys have associations for, especially on, how many of you play piano also? Yeah, because piano is fixed temperament, you know, certain keys have a kind of darker quality because we can't adjust the pitch. When we play violin or sing or an instrument like that, we're playing it like we would sing something. But a piano can't make those adjustments, so it sounds a little, just sounds different. Do you have a good fingering for that? You're coming down on the first fingers.
Yeah.
I can play this forever. Have you practiced it like? Yeah. Just do it slower.
The whole thing, sir? Or
Yeah,
the
maybe
three?
just if you can start that line. Is that too high? You pick it. Or it has the hand. I usually will shift down like that,
Yeah.
but this one's like that. I don't know. I have to think about that a little bit. It's a timing thing, right? You're feeling that. So, have you done the rhythms, like practice dotted rhythms? And,
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you're on the right track with all that. I'll have to ponder that a little bit, but that's And your octaves are fantastic. Again, you can give it a little more rhythmic profile than that, just so we don't blizzard and get lost in the weeds too much.
So
But
when you say rhythmic profile, do you sort of mean like a pulse?
yeah, I just want to feel the two of it.
Okay.
But again, not accenting. It's just that I feel like, I don't know, it's just the dance of it. Just always sparkling. It's like the sparkling dance of it. But again, easier with the piano or an orchestra because they're doing that work for you. But yeah, yeah, excellent.